Hello, everybody, and welcome back into Gamecock Central. I'm Kendall Smith along with Wes Mitchell here to break down another commitment for the South Carolina Gamecocks. I wish I had like $1 for every time they got a commit over this last week span because I would be able to take myself out to a nice lunch. South Carolina picking up yet another four-star in the class of 2024. It is athlete Mazeo Bennett out of Greenville, South Carolina, listed as an athlete, but we've primarily seen him at the receiver position. Wes, he is a very, very talented player, number 3 rated player in the state of South Carolina, according to the On3 consensus, number 20 rated athlete in the country, in the top 200 in the country in terms of overall 2024 recruits. So you can't understate how big this is for South Carolina.
Yeah, Kendall, if you had $1 for every commit in the last week, you'd be like closing in on a Firehouse sub at this point, which would be good for you and
Good.
good for our sponsor there on 1075. But yeah, Mazeo Bennett, a list as an athlete, wide receiver all the way for South Carolina. You'll see why as you see the film here. First thing that stands out, Kendall, physical kid. Like you don't see wide receivers necessarily play all the time with the level of physicality that Mazeo does. He's been a national type prospect for quite some time. He's been on the recruiting radar for over a year and a half. South Carolina was the first Power 5 offer for him. And that really has finally paid off. They had to sort of weather the storm with Tennessee. He committed to them last year. Then he decommitted during the season. And from the moment that he decommitted from Tennessee, it was looking like he was probably going to end up at South Carolina. That comes through today. Justin Stepp, just a phenomenal job building that relationship with him and the family. I think that was important here as well. And the Gamecocks get another, as you said, in-state prospect. They are killing it in the Palmetto State for 2024.
And that's huge for South Carolina because you're not only beating out schools like Clemson, but you're also beating out other big time SEC programs to land guys like Mazeo Bennett. You talked a little bit about it there, Wes, but we see his film right here. What makes him so special as a player, and what do you think he could bring to the table for South Carolina?
Yeah, I think if you're going to sum it up, you would just say playmaker. This is a guy who makes big plays, whether that is catching the football down the field, whether it's that in special teams, as you see right now in the kickoff return game. He's one of those guys you can throw a quick screen to, and he can make a couple people miss and turn it into a long play. Has some size to him, plenty fast enough. Again, plays physically, kind of a little bit of a running back in a receiver's body once you get the ball in his hands, knows how to make things happen. Again, he's a receiver all the way for South Carolina, but the fact that he does excel on the defensive side of the ball, I think speaks to his versatility. It speaks to just his overall athleticism, speaks to his hips, good hands. Again, a national level prospect. Here you see him sort of running through tackles, plays with a competitive edge, which I think is important. And is a guy who's bought into the South Carolina football program. And I think is another key sort of building block for South Carolina. You look at this 2024 class, Cam Pringle committed. Now Mazeo Bennett committed. That is 2 out of the top 3 guys in the state. Josiah Thompson would be the 3rd. I think the Gamecocks are in great shape there as well. But, Kendall, we are seeing complete buy-in from these guys in terms of not just committing, but also turning around and recruiting others to join them in Columbia. Mazeo is a guy who I think will now also turn his attention to helping the Gamecocks land further talent in this 2024 class.
Well, how was South Carolina able to get this done? Because, like you said, he was committed to Tennessee. South Carolina now flipping him. He decommitted a few months ago. So it wasn't like one of those flip situations where he flips and then immediately announces that he's going to South Carolina. But how were they able to lock this down? What made them cause Mazeo to change his mind?
Well, I think it was probably 2 or 3-fold. So, first of all, I think South Carolina always had the better relationships here. Justin Stepp, Taylor Edwards, the full recruiting crew over there. They had a great relationship with Bennett and his family. But early on, if you think back, remember the struggles for that South Carolina offense the first half of the year. So I think Bennett sort of got caught up in that. He made a business decision in going to Tennessee. When you look at the fact that Tennessee was having so much success offensively, Kendall, he kind of felt like he had to go there. Well, then South Carolina at the end of the year, of course, has the big explosive offense the last couple of games. They change offensive coordinators and kind of change direction there. Tennessee lost their OC. So it kind of circled back to being more about the relationships, more about the fact of, okay, South Carolina can now sell him, look, there's a new OC. You've seen what South Carolina could be potentially on offense. And hey, Tennessee's guy is gone now too. So I think it all sort of came full circle. South Carolina was the long-time leader here until that sort of few month span where he just felt like he had to go to Tennessee to develop the way he needed to and to make the plays he needed to because of the offensive scheme at that time. Again, Carolina stayed the course. Justin Stepp kept sort of hammering away at this thing. And as soon as he decommitted from Tennessee, we actually thought he may go ahead and flip straight to South Carolina. Decided to take a few more visits, Kendall, make sure this time. But I think he's firmly locked in with the Gamecocks at this point.
You see it right up there, 23 touchdowns. I think that said, what, 1,701 all-purpose yards. So very talented player. Another day, another 4-star for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Mazeo Bennett out of Greenville High School in Greenville, South Carolina, is officially a South Carolina Gamecock. By the way, I think it's Greenville, not Greenville, but people say different things. We were just having this debate with my friends, with my roommates. Wes, I think you're a Greenville person.
I don't even know how I say it, Kendall. How do I say it? Did I say it that way? Did I say it
I
right?
don't
Did I say it
know. I
wrong?
don't know if you said it or not. I don't even know if you said Greenville. I'm just saying.
Mazeo Bennett from Greenville, South Carolina.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know how you say it, but people have like a differing way that they say Greenville or Greenville. Anyways, I won't go off on that tangent. The reason why I started saying that is
I
because
think
my
you did
roommate
just go
was
off on that
asking me how
tangent.
I say it. I know. I went off on the tangent. We're just excited over here. We can't contain our excitement for the South Carolina Gamecocks. They are rolling on the recruiting trail. You know, we've got plenty more coverage over for you on GamecockCentral.com. So check us out there and follow us on social media at Gamecock Central. He's Wes Mitchell. I'm Kendall Smith. Thank you all for joining us. Mazeo Bennett is officially a South Carolina Gamecock. So give this video to celebrate. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for joining us on this commitment breakdown. Have a great day.